Donkey Kong Land 3 is now out on Nintendo Switch, and it's hiding some secrets like cheat codes, secret warp barrels, and more. And let's start with the little known fact that there's an entire colorized version of the game, which you may not know anything about as it released only in Japan, both originally and even again now on Nintendo Switch. But luckily there is a way for you to play it too, simply by downloading the Japanese version of the Game Boy app. We already made an entire video showing how to do it, so give it a watch if you want to find out how. Next, let's talk cheat codes, which work in both the black and white and colorized versions of the game. There are 3 codes in total, and you'll enter all of them on the title screen. First, for 50 lives, press down, down, up, left, and right. As with all the codes, you'll hear this sound if you entered it correctly. And look at all those lives! Now you have even less reason to abuse the rewind feature. Next, to instantly unlock nearly every level in the game, press up, down, left, left, down, up, and right. And when you look at that, even on a brand new save file, we can go almost everywhere. Everywhere that is, except for the final set of stages in the Lost World. Meaning you're still going to have to track down all the DK coins to access it, along with all the bonus room coins and watches from the Brother Bears card games if you want the 100% completion for your save file. And speaking of that card game, you can play it whenever you want by pressing up, up, down, left, and right. I don't know why you'd want to, but there you go. Okay, now even though I said there were only 3 codes, there are technically 3 more as well, but they're pretty dumb. Because you know how if you wait around in the title screen long enough, it'll eventually play a demo of the Jetty Jitter stage, and only ever that stage? Well, as it turns out, there are actually 3 other level demos that you can access by pressing any of these buttons once, twice, or 3 times while waiting on the title screen for the demo to start. So press any of those buttons once for a demo of Rickety Rapids, twice for Whiplash Dash, and 3 times for Deep Reef Grief. Again, it's pretty pointless, especially with how the Kongs always die in them, but hey, we like to be thorough. Moving on, let's talk secret shortcuts. Because as with the previous game, there's a secret warp barrel hidden in every level of World 1. That'll take you straight to the end of each stage. Here's how to find them. In Red Wharf, when you reach the first rope, jump directly up on the left side to find the hidden warp barrel. Yep, it just took you right to the level's exit. In Seabed Shanty, swim to the top of the first Barracuda section, and look for the warp barrel just right at the topmost coral. In Fort Knox, drop into the water at the second beetle, then swim underneath the platform to the right, and jump into the hidden warp barrel on the left side. In Total Recoil, shortly after the steel barrel, you'll find this jumping enemy. From here, just jump into the hidden warp barrel in the top right corner. In Coco Channel, jump over the first gap, then bounce off the beetle to the left to find the hidden warp barrel above. In Lift Shaft Lottery, look for the hidden warp just above the first steel barrel. And that's all of them! You can fly through the first world in no time by using these secret warp barrels, though perhaps not quite as quickly as using that code from earlier. Finally, before we wrap up here, there is one other fun detail that I wanted to talk about. The level names. Because several of them are clever references to real-life elements outside of the game itself. Like how the first level, Red Wharf, sounds a lot like the British sitcom Red Dwarf, which the British developers are apparently big fans of. Although ironically, the joke doesn't work all that well in the English versions of the game, which were in black and white. It's only in the Japanese Game Boy Color version that we can see that the wharf is indeed red. But even though Red Dwarf was aired in Japan, they changed the name of the level in the Game Boy Color version so that it no longer references the show. Bummer! Then there's Fort Knox, which is an obvious play on Fort Knox, you know, the famous and well-fortified US vault. After that is Total Recoil, which plays off the famous sci-fi film Total Recall. Next is Coco Channel, which riffs on the real-life fashion designer Coco Chanel. Then we have The Ugly Duckling, which is a fun take on the famous fairy tale The Ugly Duckling. And finally, we have my personal favorite, Miller Instinct. Do you get it? Miller Instinct? Like Killer Instinct? As in that other famous series by the same developer, Rareware? Look, I just love wordplay, okay? And there you have it, all the secrets, codes, and Easter eggs that we could dig up for Donkey Kong Land 3. So if you like this video, make sure to click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell for tons more from us. And with that, we'll catch you later.